Been like consistent, like 10K above months.
Downloaded it, I checked the date, July of 2021, and then I left my job in September of 2021.
Since then, I've sold websites, I've pivoted my business, I'm no longer doing social media management.
What has been like your highest month?
13K.
It has literally changed my life.
When you were designing on WordPress, were you charging way less? Like, what is that like?
Yeah, way less. I think my first WordPress was like $500.
$500 for a WordPress site versus like up to $5,000 for a Showit site. Have you listened to student interviews before,
Yes,
like on podcasts
yes.
and stuff? So I love when they're as casual as possible. Like,
Okay, I love it.
there's literally nothing off limits. I love sharing it all. Like, the people that are listening to this, they come to the podcast to be inspired, be motivated, and to be validated in like their big feelings and like the fear and the hurdles and the mindset things. And so, like, I always say, if you are willing to share, share. Like, give it all to me. Nothing is off topic.
Yes,
I just want to be as real as possible with people. So
love it.
that's it. That's the only kind of download I need to give you. And then yeah, we'll just like let it be super casual and just have a chat, me and you.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
Let's see. I have your thing here. What is your brand called though? I was trying to find it.
Okay, so I know like my Instagram is growing with Eric because I had this idea a long time ago that I was like, and it's so funny because I'm obsessed with human design, right?
Yeah.
It's like I had this idea. I was like, what if I just like, because I was all into like all these law of attraction and self-help books and gratitude and the universe and just I'd grown up
All the things.
religious, like you know what I mean, like
Oh.
in a
Oh, I
Christian
didn't know that.
environment. Yeah, and I was always just like loving this connection to like a spiritual or like a I don't know, a loving presence in some way. But then I had a lot of questions, obviously, and but I felt so connected to it, and I still feel like all religions there's so much good. But I was like, there's so much in our lives that if we just kind of do it and like activate and like practice gratitude or meditate a little bit or like learn to self-soothe or these things, we can really like change our lives. Like we can actually live a better life. Like we have the power to do that. And it doesn't require anybody else but us. So I was like, what if I was like growing with Eric? Because we're all growing together. And then I got really scared and I was like, kept the handle. Kept the handle. People have their domain. They're like, it's on the Instagram, doesn't go anywhere, but the
Don't even-
domain is there.
I'm wondering, do you have a hard time? What is it about that you didn't make you go 100% in on it? Like,
Okay, I'm gonna be honest about what comes up, and I'm not sure if this is the right answer, but I feel like a lot of people probably have experienced some type of haters in their life. And me being a 4/6 in human design, I'm actually like here supposedly, and I always say supposedly because they call it an experiment, because like that's one of the reasons I love it, is they're not like this is who you are. They're like these are some of the boundaries you might be playing within, and if you want to play in them and acknowledge your strengths and the things that don't feel good to you and let that go and say yes to more of the things that do feel good to you, then this is the result. And it's always a feeling. It's not like you'll be rich or this or that. It's like you'll feel satisfied, you will feel peaceful, and that we overlook these feelings so easily. So I think the reason for me that I struggled so much was like just a lack of stability, like always moving ever since I was a kid. Like I was just like telling my partner the other day, like I grew up in Southern California until like first or second grade. I went to a different kindergarten, a different first and second grade, a different third grade. Then we moved to Texas. I went to a fourth and fifth there. Then I moved back to California for sixth. Then I moved to Florida for half a seventh. Then the other half of seventh, I was in Missouri um, at some high school out there or some middle school out there. Then I went to a private high school for 1 year. Then I went to a high school for 10 through 12. So I was always the new kid. And I was always the different kid, always the tall kid, the gay kid, the whatever kid. And it was just like, oh my God, like I was literally had a target on my back. You know what I mean? Like all the time. So standing out in any way was definitely not a safe thing to do. Or if it did, it seemed to blow up in my face. So I think it might go a little deeper than that, possibly. But for the
I
most
think
part,
definitely.
it's been a huge experience. So It's like, and I think everybody has this fear of rejection, right? But I think it was
Yeah.
amplified due to those experiences.
Wow. Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that. I honestly resonate a lot with that too, because wow, it sounds like you moved almost every year of your childhood. I moved a lot and always was the new kid. And I also was very loud and outspoken. I liked attention. Okay. I'll be the first one to
Love
admit
that.
it. And because of that, I definitely experienced bullying,
Mhm.
12 to 14, there was a 2-year period where it was insane, one of the lowest times. And I remember it being this like catalyst where I could decide, am I going to allow these people to mute me and make me go smaller and make me go inward and not be my most authentic self? Or am I going to understand that while these people are bullying me, I also have these people that are like, yeah, you're fucking sick. And I'm like, no, I'm going to actually hang with these people because I don't want to quiet myself. And I think that it's such, and obviously there's nuance to it, but it's like, it's so common for people to have a taste of that. And then they're like, when you're seen and someone doesn't like what they see, it then makes you want to shrink. And I genuinely feel like if I can do anything on this planet, it's to help people want to be more seen and want to take up more space and be like, no, you know what? Okay, yeah, there's those haters, but like honestly, I see you. I send compassion and hopefully one day I can still show up and even maybe empower you to change your life and be more seen and visible because you're clearly not showing your true self right now too. So it's like, I don't know, I resonate with that as a whole so deeply.
Oh my God. And I just love hearing you say that because that's one of the things I think is so special about you is that you're like, this shit is hot. Like, why aren't you loving it? Like, everybody should like be that way, right? Like, there were so many things about myself that I'm like, you guys, this thing about me is like so fun. I love this part of myself. I love this thing. It could be a
Mm,
book, whatever. I love this. And then, I would pretend I didn't, or I would hide myself, like you're saying, and just like be like, oh yeah, or like, you know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, that's cool, or whatever. When I want to be like, oh my God, but did you really see that episode? It's like, it was so
right.
awesome when, you know what I mean? And I love what I love about you is like who you actually present yourself to be as
Mm,
you are, right? Is really like who you are. Like like the person that you meet online is the real person in real life, like going to that meetup and just like meeting everybody, the people that you like bring into your world and like you yourself. Everybody said it. They're like, I cannot believe that she's the same person. Like so
mm,
authentic, so genuine, so kind, so like beautiful, like all those. No, I mean that. Like that's what people say. And it's like that was my feeling too. So I love that you're saying like I was at school, like trying to share myself with others, which like, why wouldn't you do that? And then
yeah,
people were hating because they're hiding, right? And then the
right.
people that do love it, you're like, oh, I'm gonna go hang out over there. Like, yes,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you didn't turn it down.
Well, thank you for saying that. I really appreciate that. And I try, and I'm like, I want social media because social media is it's a highlight reel. Everyone says that, I
Mhm.
know, but like it really is. And I think the more people with platforms that can just be their most authentic self, it will create a ripple effect that's off platform. And like that is the most needed thing. And I also think that because you're deep, you get this. Like not everyone would want to go there, but where I'm going, but I know that you'll appreciate it. I feel like it's a trauma response. Like when you think about little kids, like let's say a bunch of 3-year-olds playing on a playground, you are your most like organic state in that. Like you'll watch them and you're like, you guys are fucking weird. Like if you ever watch children, they are so themselves. It's so beautiful. But then of course, there's that one kid that comes and like totally tears down the girls and bullies them. And like you could, in a
Mhm.
sense, kind of piece that timeline together of like, now what is that going to do for those girls' self-esteem? And like what trauma did that boy experience maybe at home? And that
Mhm.
it's like this whole, it's deeper. It's not just the surface level. Oh, he was a jerk to me. Oh, I got bullied. It's like, no, it's this like deep web of wounds and healing that
Mm.
I don't know. I mean, I could go on and I could
No chills. And like just to like make it also really make sense, it's like in real experience, right? You experience these things and then you learn to play a certain way as
Yeah.
yourself, whatever, play small. And then that's what you show up and you get those results. So even if like with attracting experiences that suck, right? And they're all teachers, they're all lessons. But then like what you're saying, when you start to trace it back, you're like, oh, but you know what? I didn't like there's comes this point of like owning almost where you're like, but I don't have to
Mm.
anymore almost, which I think is magical. Just because we had these experiences and we started to expect and act that way, now I really see like, oh my God, but you can make a different choice, you know?
Yeah. Yes, it's
And
a
get a
choice.
different result.
100% different outcome. Okay, that was a very different normal start to the podcast. I love this. I could honestly have not expected anything different, but I didn't even actually get to intro you because
Oh,
we already
I'm
talked
really
about
good at
prom.
deflection.
I love that for us. But let's take it back for a second. Um, Hello, Eric. Welcome to the podcast. I'm so excited to have you here.
Thank you. I'm so
Obviously,
excited.
everyone who's already just listened to that can clearly tell that we have banter, which is exactly why I gravitated towards you. Backstory for everyone listening: we just did a student meetup 1 month ago, 3 weeks ago,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
something like that.
Mhm.
And it was great. We were all sitting there, and then Eric walks in the room, and I'm like, "Who's that?" Is like, I for some reason for like 2 seconds thought maybe you weren't a part of our world, but we looked like we were having a good time, and you were just coming over to be like, "Can we like hang and have drinks?" And I was going to be like, "Please, please, please," and then I realized that you were Eric and that we had been talking on Instagram. And I was like, wait, I'm obsessed with you. Like the first 10 seconds of you speaking, I could tell you just had this energy about you. And then you came down or sat down. We had a night. And then when we were leaving, I came up and thanked you because it felt like it would not have been the same without you there. Like you facilitated the student meetup just with your energy. And yeah, you're just such a great time. And so I'm very excited to have you on the podcast and have everyone learn more about you. But before I go on a whole tangent, why don't you tell us who is Eric? Like, give us a quick little highlight reel. Not the Instagram side, though, the real side of Eric. Who are you?
Oh my God, that is the big question, right? No, seriously, that is such a great question. And thank you. I'm honored to be here. What an intro. Just what like everything you just said. And oh, I'm overwhelmed in the best way. Just thinking about it because that night was so fun. And it taught that night taught me a lot about myself too. I mean, I think I'm someone who's just on a constant journey of learning and discovering, right? Um, but yeah, I just love people. I love learning every little intricate detail I can about them and piecing things together. And then like also this, I'm pretty, like you said, deep, like spiritual, intuitive. Like I feel like everybody gives off some kind of vibe or energy. And I love just being like, oh my God, what if we just like rearrange that a little bit with this new thought and then remove that block and then now you can go do that thing you want to do. You know what I mean? Like I just love how powerful we are. So I've been on a huge journey of that, of course, worked at lots of agencies, worked at tons of different just companies, universities, everything. Um, and finally in 2020 started my, official freelance journey. I think I'd like tried and failed multiple times. And I was like, why isn't this working? Even though the answer is so obvious, you know? And then I was like on Instagram, came across, like I told you, I was like, no, 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 Becca, you need to stop asking me to take this course. Like, even though I'm right in the middle of building my web design business right now, the answers are right here. You need to stop. I don't care if it's free, it's not going to have any value anyway. You're just going to try to sell me something. And then finally, I just saw your little cute little face again. And I was like, fine, download, watch. And I was just like on board and downloaded. I actually started Wealthy Web Designer and just started, handing out these brand kits, signing clients onto this process and basically like following it to the T. Um, yeah. And then now it's, what is it, like 5 years later? I still am using a lot of the same process and then adding in a little bit of more what you were saying in the beginning, which is like the coaching part. 'Cause I think like through web design, no matter what you decide to do, right, you're gonna find the real magic that you love. So I just love finding people's magic.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. And I definitely want to get into this interview too about the evolution of where web design can take you because I think people have this idea of like, oh, if I become a web designer, it's either not gonna work and I'm like never gonna be a web designer, or I'm gonna have to always be a web designer forever. And I'm like, no, you can let it open the door of your entrepreneurial journey and like just let it guide you, just like it did for me. And I think that that's really cool. So I want to get back to that, but to give some context to your story, you started in animation and game design,
Oh
which
yeah.
I love that for you. Um, I want to talk about that a little bit because I've never had anyone on the podcast or anything with that background. How did you, one, get into that? And then how did you get from that into web design? What's that?
Well, well, glad you asked. I forgot all about that. I forget about that life. It's funny. Little backup. The human design girlies are gonna love these little tidbits, but like 4-6, the sixth line supposedly goes through these three phases in their life, right? There's like the first is like until like I think like 30 or something, late 20s, then which kind of matches up with like the return to Saturn type of deal if you believe in that. Then uh 30 to 50, and then 50 on up is the last phase. So the first phase, you're having all these experiences, like crazy things happening. Then the next phase, this one now you kind of integrate, and then you're transitioning into taking all those experiences and then finally becoming the role model. So you could like help other people go, no, you don't want to do, you know? That's not, do you think that's for you? If you think it's for you, you go ahead. But I think I see, I think I see you man like this. But no,
Love it. Was that an accent? Was that a little bit of an accent that came out?
I'm always doing different accents. But,
Love that.
multicultural here. But anyway,
We
so
love that.
I was always like, I'm almost going to be embarrassed about talking about human design so much, but manifesting generators are supposed to do things in their own unique way. It doesn't work if you do it someone else's way. You got to do it your way. You can have a template and then we kind of skip steps, right? So
Mm.
I wanted to make video games like ever since I was a little kid. Like I just was like playing Mario and stuff in Mario Paint, and I was like doing Microsoft Paint and drawing all these things and creating all these games and worlds. And then I was like, I told my dad, like, Dad, I want to make games. He's like, okay, great. Well, here's this program. It's called Flash. So I just aged myself there. You don't even know about Flash. And I was like, okay. And he's like, so you can like draw stuff. And I was like, oh, that's great. He's like, make animations. I was like, give it to me right now. So then like I drew this. Yes, right. So I sat there and I was like on the computer. Like, I think I was like 13.
Mm.
And I was like, yeah, 13 or 14, something like that. And I drew this little chameleon that like stuck his tongue out to catch a fly, and he changed colors every frame. And I was like, oh, it's over now. It's over for all of y'all. It's
You're
over.
done,
Yeah,
bitches. Your
yeah,
careers are done. Eric's
yeah.
here.
Yes, I'm about to step in and take all y'all bitches' jobs, okay? This chameleon is lit. So then I was like, okay, Dad, I get it. We're making this game. He's like, okay, okay. So he's like, okay, well, get everything together for it, and then we'll make it because he's a programmer. And I was like, okay.
Okay.
So I took like 2 weeks to draw all of these freaking little animations and characters. There's this little bird virtual pet. He was like a phoenix and he grew up and he could fight and all this stuff. So I was like, okay, Dad, it's done. And he's like, all right, awesome. And he goes, well, I was like, let's make it into a game then. He goes, okay, awesome. He goes, all we have to do, he takes this huge book. He goes, is read this book, and just slams it on the table. He's like, we'll know how to make a game. And I was like, gutted, like, are you kidding me? Because it didn't even enter my consciousness that I would code, right? So I was like, okay. So I read the book because I freaking wanted to make this game. And then I started learning how to make games, and I started releasing them on these like portals, these online portals, and like winning some contests, getting some sponsorships. I remember my first game I made tanked, like the most horrible comments ever. And I told the guy like that runs it, because we're 4 lines just making friends. I was like, you got to take this game down. He's like, are you sure? I was like, yeah, because you couldn't take your own game down. I was like, the hate is unreal. I cannot take it. This is not my best. I was like, take it down. I was like, I'm gonna figure out what's wrong, and then I'm going to come back and be on the front page of your website, and I'm gonna get sponsored by you guys. He's like, okay, I'll take him down. He took him down. And I went to the best game designer I knew. I was like, what's wrong? Just tell me what's wrong. Like, what is wrong with my games? I know that people will have fun with this. And he's like, well, the ideas are there. It's just, they're not polished. He's like, just take the best one and polish it up to the fullest. It's like, okay. So I took 3 weeks, polished it, hired this guy at my church to like make music for it and stuff. I like play tested it with everybody. And then defended the parts I needed to defend, and then relaunched it on that platform. I got sponsored for like $1,200, which when you're like 17, 16 is like amazing. And it was on the front page of their website, just amplifying the hateful comments, but I didn't care. I was like, I did it, you know what I mean? And then I was like, okay, time to graduate. What am I? Oh, wait, that was just game design, right? Game design, that was it. And then I had to make a choice. Games, or go to college, or just start working. And God, it's exactly what you say. It's so funny because even though obviously I didn't, hadn't taken, wealthy web designer yet, I was like, I just felt like I heard this voice in my head because I was like, do I go to school and have all this debt and student loan? No offense, people who have it, I know it's hard, but I was just like, what? I don't want that because I can't pay for that right now. I just felt that. I was like, I can't do it. It's too big of a number in my head. And then I just heard this voice in my head say like, go to the community college and learn how to make websites. And I was like, what? I was like, a website is kind of like a game because you're still coding at that time and you're still designing all this cool stuff and like you're making an experience. So I was like, okay, like, yeah. So I just trusted it. Second, I graduated that little program. It took like a couple months or whatever. I don't know, 2 months, 3 months. I applied at the community college. A job posting list came up at that college and I got it to help other faculty members make their websites. And I was like, if I become a web designer, I will have a career for the rest of my life. And now, like almost 20 years later, it's true. Isn't that crazy?
Wow. I mean, I have like goosebumps on my arms. That's crazy. I had one major takeaway though, that you are a major manifester. Like, obviously you're human design, but human design aside, like in your real life, because I think that there's such a misconception of what manifesting is. It's like, oh, universe, like I want this, make it happen, and then it just happens. No, you have to speak it into existence and then believe it, truly visualize yourself experiencing that, and then go and take the fucking steps to make it happen and take action towards it, which is exactly what you did when your app or when your game wasn't working, right? You were having the hate comments, you wanted to take it down, and you said, I'm going to come back, I'm going to be on the homepage, I'm going to get sponsored. And you didn't just say it, you imagined it for yourself, and then you literally took the action and you went and did what needed to be done. And that's where most people fall off. They say, oh, I want a $10,000 client. And then they're like, please, $10,000 client, come to me. And it's like, no, that's not how it's going to work. You have to back it up with action. And I think that's so cool that like your story from 20 years ago was just still such a testament to the power of one, manifesting in general, but also that you are able to understand what good quality is. And like, obviously, and this is, I think, a testament also to how long you've been doing this, in that most people, let's say they have a flop, like I don't want to like put words in your mouth that that's what that was, but like
What's a flop?
it didn't have good feedback. Most people would look at that and go, I'm a failure. I'm done. I'm throwing in the towel. I'm not cut out for this. And then they won't continue to do it. And you did the exact opposite. And you had that resilience where you're like, no, you know what? I'm going to use this as a learning opportunity. I'm going to double down. I'm going to make it better. I'm going to learn through it. And then guess what? I'm going to get what I want out of it, which is the most powerful mindset we can have going through life, really at all. Like you can become unstoppable when you have that mindset.
Oh, and you know what the best part is? It's like, it's okay to still have doubt in you throughout that whole process. It's just like, because doubt is like something that will just stop me in my tracks, But I love, like, I know I sound like a teacher's pet, okay? But what I love about you is you get people so excited, like, because I know too, like just from working with clients and I watch their programs and I'm like, which one's going to work, which one's not. It's like obviously the clarity aspect, like, is it communicable or whatever? Like, will people get it? And then is it what people want, right? But then are you actually excited about it? Like as a human being? Because like if you're excited, oh my God, like people will just get excited too.
Yeah. Yes.
And then you'll want to do it
100%.
and you'll want to push through and you'll want to just like succeed.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
hard to like give ourselves permission, especially as things are just getting so much more compounded. Like the older you get, the more experiences you collect and more, oh, that didn't work, so now I'm wounded kind of things. It's like, I don't know. It's just like with it's harder to give yourself permission to be excited about things. Like it's harder to say, I want to make $10,000 because it's not even that crazy. You could get one client. Like I remember a recent client was like, I was like, "Hmm, they say they have no money, they have no money, right?" That was the preface. I was like, but they have this, you know, place, this business, place of business, brick and mortar, it's got walls. They're paying employees paychecks and stuff. And I was like, oh my God, should I charge them like $2,000 just to like get it? And I was like, no, you know what? I'm gonna package them up a sexy little offer. And it was like $15,000. And I just made a nice little proposal and I sent it on over. And they were like, yeah, sounds great. And I was like, oh my God. Like, could you imagine if I would have just been like, oh, it's hard to do,
Yeah.
right? And I got to make it hard, or it's just gonna like it has to be. If it's $10,000, it's got to be like Disney level, right? It's like, oh, if I say I'm like, it's got to
Yeah.
be mega level, and it's like, no, it doesn't even
Yeah.
have to be. And it's not downplaying anything. It's just like we make things so big in our minds, and the doubt increases, and we think it's so hard. It's like,
Yeah. And also taking people's word is not always the best thing. Like, hear me out. I know that that sounds really
yeah,
weird, but like they said that they didn't have money, right?
mhm,
You could have gone, all right,
higher.
I'm not even going to try. I'm not even going to send anything. No way they're going to pay me. Or you could have been like, $2,000, please. And then
Mhm,
probably, guess what? They would have said, no, actually, we're okay. We actually don't have money for that because it would have been a low ball offer. Like,
mhm,
I think that, yes, you can hear them, but take what they're saying with a grain of salt because you have no idea what they even mean when they say they don't have money. They could have been getting pitched from other web designers for $100,000 packages. Like
mhm,
they could have
mhm,
had that in their mind where they're like, we don't really have money for that. So let's just like see what Eric can do. Where you're like,
mhm.
oh, 15K. You valued your time at what you want. You're going to give them a great experience and they're going to freaking love it and you're going to kill it. But also, who knows how, like, their approach on the other side. They could have been like, sick. That's a way better offer than that $100,000 guy down the road. It's like,
Mhm.
you can't assume it's poker. Like you don't know actually what cards they're actually playing. And so you have to be confident and really rooted in yourself and your own value and to not like decipher based on what they tell you. Cause who knows? It could be bullshit.
Exactly. And also, I love the idea of like, you know, because I have this question in my head of like, well, on my website, it says this price or whatever. And I think that's the beauty of like the starting at, it's like, well, if you do want this, like you could package up an offer, but then like that they needed a more custom thing. They really did. So it wasn't trying to take advantage. It was just like, I just know this is going to take time.
Yeah.
I'm not outsourcing it. It's going to take time. I got to get it done. And this is just what it costs. And I'm giving you a little bit of deal because you're doing two sites.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, it doesn't even matter if you have a different price because that's just starting out. You still get to design whatever you want. We're not locked in anymore. It's like you're free.
You're
You're
free.
free. Yeah. What do you
Game's
want?
open. Okay. I want to talk about timeline real quick. So
Mhm.
how long ago you keep saying, oh, I aged myself. I
I know,
don't
I was right. I'm
I
like
don't want to do that
27
to you.
now.
But
So
when did you first become a web designer? Because you became a web designer, which is very different than most of our students. Most students become web designers once they find me and they take our programs and they learn. I love talking to people who have been doing it because it's such a different angle. And I think people don't understand that you can be doing something in an industry for years and still have room to grow and still have room to evolve and have processes to fine tune. So, all that to be said, when did you actually start as a web designer? What year was that?
19 years old.
Okay. It's okay. We're not going to push. Love that. Okay. And how long had you been doing web design before you found Wealthy Web Designer?
Literally like, oh my God, probably like 12 or 15 years or something like that.
So cool. I
20,
love it. So,
yeah.
what was the first 12 years like in doing web design? And then what made you be 12 years into your web design career, find me and find a course, and then feel like you needed it, wanted it, had room to even learn from it? Like, where did that all play in?
That is such a great question. So two times, I think two or three times, because I had worked it since being a web designer, I kind of worked at different agencies, startups, all that. And I was at one where I was doing like so much work, like all of the work that would actually bring in the money because they had a lot of retainer clients. So I was just like, oh my God, every day going in there, doing all these like silly SEO updates that were actually moving the needle. Like I was taking it seriously. It was just so like, oh my God. And then I was like, and then one time they had this meeting and they're like, oh my God, guys, we made the most money we ever did since hiring Eric. And it's all to thank Eric. Oh my God, thank you, Eric. And then I was like, I was like, okay, wait, what? Like, how much money did I make y'all with my little paycheck? Then I'm over here just over here, just bending my brain for. And then I was like, okay, if that's the kind of money that people are paying for a website, that's the kind of money I got to go get. But I
Yeah.
had zero process. I'm the kind of person I'll just go run right into that little, shaky little building and just start trying to nail down boards and put this little picture up and try to get this little thing going. So I realized, oh my God, failing, I'm failing. And then I went, got another job. Then it happened again. I was like, okay, this is cool. Oh, you know what happened? I got another job. Then, because I had a stint at Starbucks actually, because I was just done with websites and I had no other direction. I was like, I don't know, games feels way too off. I don't even know about websites. I already failed trying to do it on my own. And I felt like I'm probably so behind now because I've been out for a whole year. So yeah, so I got a job at Starbucks, and it happened in a serendipitous way. And like I was talking to like like Pillow Talk, like yeah, I just don't know exactly what to do. This guy at the stadium, it's like yeah, it's like I was telling like my sister's girlfriend, like you're a designer, like if you're in between jobs or something, you don't know what you want to do, just go work at Starbucks. And I was like, like it echoed in my head. Like, do things stick out to you and they're kind of for you, and you're like, but
Yeah.
why? And then we don't even want to talk about the job before that. Okay. And then I saw this thing that Starbucks was having a hiring fair like the next day. And I was like, oh, ding, 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 ding. So at my job that I was at that we're not going to talk about, I was like, oh, I want to have work, and this is like, and I was young at the time. I was like 23 or something because I started when I was 19. So I was like, and I'd like moved to New York since then and come back and just manifest and generating. So I was like, okay, I gotta miss out on this job to go to this hiring fair. I was like, but if I don't call in, I know they're gonna make me hold the sign. And if I don't get this job, it's gonna be so embarrassing to stand on the corner with the sign. But I was like, but I gotta take a chance. So I went to Starbucks and they loved me. I don't know why. And then no, just kidding. So they did, and they hired me. But I didn't find out yet. So then I go back to my job, I'm like putting my little apron on, like, oh hey, boss lady, how's it going? And she just looks at me and she's like, hands her the sign.
Oh
I went in the
my
bathroom and
gosh.
started crying. And I like looked in the mirror and was like, this is not me. This is not who you are. So
Have
I
a
just
little
took
beer
my,
pep talk.
yeah, I took my apron off and I just handed it to her. I just went outside and started bawling my eyes out. Because it was like me and my two college friends. We were in this little studio in LA and we were just sharing this studio. We'd all like blow up our bed every night. I was like, I'm gonna make it happen. And then I was like, what am I gonna do? But then the college I worked at, my little 401k cashed out. My stepmom called me, a check had arrived. Can you believe it? So I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna pay rent. And then Starbucks called me. Then at Starbucks, I was just telling everybody, oh, I make games, I make websites. Like, what else would you like with your latte? You know what I mean? And then I could not make the drinks. It was just too many steps for me. So they just kept me on the register talking to people. And then I would just like tell everybody, yeah, I make games, like, just so you know. And they're like, okay. So then this one girl walked in, and I swear I just saw her. I was like, she's a mermaid. Like it went in slow motion. Like I was like, she is a mermaid. Like she was like this river baby from up north, hippie, like so cool. And I was like talking to her. She's like, yeah, oh, you make games? She's like, my boss does websites. I was like, oh, really? She's like, yeah, he wants to meet you. She's like, he's seen you before. And I was like, are you kidding me? And she's like, no, I'm serious. He wants to meet you. Like, just come over after work. Oh, I don't know if you know, in downtown LA, there's the Starbucks and then the 1010 building. It's just like loft, like it's like this live work loft. And I was like, oh, I'll live, you can work at home, you know what I mean? So I like walk over there and he's just in the apartment getting a haircut. And I was like, oh my God. I was like waiting on the rooftop and stuff, waiting to go down. I go down, he's getting his haircut. And he goes, yeah, Eric, I saw you. I just love your smile. And I just wanted to get to know you. I was like, oh my God, you're kidding me. So then he's like, come on, come over to the office and let's talk. Go to the office. And he's like, so we use this thing. Don't worry, but you're gonna think a little bit. But he's like, it's called WordPress. And I was like, oh, I love WordPress. I've never used it. I was like, oh, how grand. I love that for you and
Love
me.
WordPress.
Yeah, yeah. He's like, and I was like, he's like, so do you know how to code and stuff? I was like, yeah. I mean, I make the games, right? It can't be too different. So then he's like, okay, cool. Well, just come in next week and get started. I was like, oh my God, I got this job. I was so excited. I'm like, I guess I can be a web designer. I literally had no idea what I was doing. I was like trying to put together these themes and I was like studying again from the books. And like, luckily the guy that like was my supervisor was so sweet. And he just like took me under his wing, taught me everything. And then now I sound kind of bad, but I got a better work opportunity like 2 years later. I had just gone in and got a raise. It was like 2 weeks after that because my boss told me to not stay stuck, right? So it was like a little bit more money and it was a walk from the house. And once again, harder things in WordPress that I did not know how to do. Like I'm over there at the job. I'm like, so this PHP thing, right? It's crazy, isn't it? Like, so when you put that little piece right there and this, and I was like,
Oh my gosh.
I
Wow.
got
Okay.
it done.
This is crazy. It literally like fell in your lap. Like clearly you had the idea of it. It was in your mind, but like the way that the story unfolds is it's almost like it's funny because I say this about myself. I'm like, I didn't find web design found me. And it kind
Mhm.
of seems similar to your story.
I'm so sorry. You're bringing me to these places of these stories that I completely forgot about. And it's like, but that job, they're like, Eric, we hired you to save the company. That was like, but I knew what I was doing. I got it done. I got the project done. They were hoping that this last project, and then the company, they decided to close the doors like 2 weeks after.
Oh, wow.
And then I was thrust again into this whole web design, you know what I mean? Freelance,
Yeah.
failed
Wow.
again. So those pieces, long-winded, sorry, everybody listening, I'm sorry, but that's where I was like, I need the process, like
Yeah.
the actual, if I'm really gonna do this, I need to trust somebody that has been through it and that can give me the pieces so I can just do it.
Yeah. And then my ad came up. And then
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
magazine Becca.
Mhm. Exactly.
I love that. So then so you started with Wealthy Web Designer, but you have all the
Mhm.
courses now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just missing first class creative, but I'm
Oh,
I'm
we gotta get you in first class
I'm
creative.
excited. Yeah.
Um, oh my God, you're actually gonna love first class creative. I
Oh, I know.
totally thought that you were already in it, but no. Okay, we'll get you in there. So Wealthy Web Designer you started with, and when you were going through it, like you obviously had been doing web design as a service, like right, like for agencies, for other people for a while.
Mhm.
Then going through Wealthy Web Designer, what was the biggest shift, or a couple if you have them, of going through Wealthy Web Designer, even with your experience of web design?
Okay, so biggest shift I think is the process part of it and just seeing like how uncomplicated it needed to be, if that makes sense, but strategic at the same time. So having all of those pieces laid perfectly out for you along with the actual implementation tools is just like insane. And I really mean that because I've spent so much money on courses. So I actually mean this from the bottom of my heart. Like this is like, can I say the best course that I've ever taken on its promise, especially and in its ability to like transform you because everything's there. So, and the other thing that I love about your courses is it's like it focuses on exactly what you need for the step you're on. And then if you want or need other things, kind of like we were talking about how like maybe web design's an entry point, but then you're like, oh, I don't feel like the best designer. Well, there's a library, like literally, and you can just plug and play and have it done. Or maybe you're like someone who's really excited about like getting things done quickly and just freeing up the rest of your time. You could do your day rate, right? So it's like everything is built to support you and give you exactly what you need.
Yeah.
And there's nothing more. It's almost like our minds want there to be more. But it's
Right.
like, I want there to be more. There's got to be something else that I need before I could do this. Like, nope, just Wealthy Web Designer, baby. That's it. But what about nope? Get the library and just get your Showit account. Throw that key in there. Take some slides. Learn about your client. Put that text in there. And just get another one.
I love the accent.
But what
so much.
about? It's like, first class creative. You don't know how to talk, but don't get first class creative. Just get creative with your content and your copy and all that. Start talking about what you do. That's it. But what about nope. Go into the little community area, talk to people. Don't be stuck. No,
Don't
what
be
else you
stuck.
got? Did you know?
That is the best thing. I need to like clip that and turn that into an ad. Like that is BLE. We're done here. We're done here. That's
Right?
BLE.
Literally. I think it's really been said.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
It's true.
Okay. Literally obsessed with you.
Oh
Oh
my
my
gosh.
God. So going through, wait, I don't even think I asked you. What was your first website that you charged for? How much did you charge?
It was actually a photography website, and I think I wanted to do 250, but my boss is like, "No, do 500. I'll help you. I promise." It's like, "You're gonna help me, right? I can't fail at this." He was like, "Yeah, I'll help you." I was like, "You know how to do slideshows?" It's like, "Yes." It's a photography site. She don't need a slideshow. She want to show. She's got to show the photos.
Sure.
So $500. Yeah.
Okay. And then what was your highest website in?
My highest website was, well, okay, just the website. Like I was like, let's fuck around and find out type of shit, right?
Yeah.
$50,000. Just fully paid. I have the picture. I was like, oh,
Wait,
right
send me the
outside the
photo.
bank. Oh
Send
my
me
God,
that
I gotta
photo.
find it. Yeah, I gotta find it. I'll send it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so $500 to 50,000. Wait. Hold on. I have to wrap my head around that. $500 for your first site. $50,000 for your highest site, and the client just said yes, like, yeah, I'll send you $50,000.
Yep. It was definitely a little bit more of they had some money, but yeah. Yeah.
First off, you are a savage. You are a savage. You are a gangster. I love you. I'm proud of you.
Eight. No, just
I mean,
no.
truly, it's impressive. It's really, really impressive. And you should be so proud of yourself. And I'm so curious with that because I always like to preface that money, yes, it's like a driving force, especially in our economy. It's expensive. You got to have money. Like, we all know that. But it's also so much bigger than money. And obviously, people, when they need money and they're below their means, like I completely like I can feel the day that I remember getting my client, and it was at that point about the money. Like I am not, ashamed to admit it. It was like I need fucking money because I need to get off food stamps. Like I don't care. What do you mean like being fulfilled or like be like liking your job? What the fuck are you talking about? I need money. So I think it's very common to want that and have that desire when you don't have it. But what people don't realize, and what I love to make people aware of, is how much bigger it is than money once you have the money. Like, for example, your client's $50,000 client, like, yeah, that's a lot of bread. Like, I hope that you went out and like celebrated yourself. But how about the fact that a client trusted you, saw something in you, and trusted you enough to send the money and really believe in your art? Like web design is an art form, it's a creative outlet. And that person, yes, it's a money and financial exchange. They're also just having that exchange saying, I trust you. I trust you enough that I want you on this project and I want you to execute this. I want your vision to come to life. Like that is so deeply fulfilling that money aside, it's a career and opportunity that can truly light you up from within. And I don't want to speak for you, but that's at least how I have felt. I'm curious, you're like nodding, like you maybe are agreeing with me. Do you agree with that statement?
I mean, 100 million%. And also, I do want to let people know, like, this is coming from someone who's like, did not grow up at all with the, like, I remember it was so cute. Well, it's cute now for some reason, just because I think of my mom and my brother and I as this little family unit. And what we moved to Texas, and it was like cold in the winter. And I was always like on the bus stop, like, oh, so cold. Why does it get so cold here? And people are like, it's winter. I'm like, oh, I'm from California. I wouldn't know. But like, oh, I just always made sure people knew. But Texas is awesome though. But yeah, like one time he left his jacket at school and it was like, oh, I was like, Mom, it's okay. It's at least it's gonna go to like the poor, you know? And she's like, Eric, we are the poor. And I was like, oh my God. I looked around. Oh, she's right. I was funny. So yeah, I was like, oh my God, like, yeah, we are, huh? And then I was like, wow, money is like such a scary thing. You know what I mean? Like if you don't have it, it's really scary. And so I just want people to know, like, I've battled a lot and still on this journey of like, everything's about money, you know? And it's not as scary as you think, because then a lot of times you take this 10K job, like, and I bet you pretty much everybody's going to be like, oh, I probably could have got paid 15K for that. You know, I did that much work. Like we're all givers and healers that do this, especially people in your orbit. So it's like, you're gonna over deliver. You're gonna give everything you've got, and you're still gonna feel like there's more you wish you could give. So it's just weird how once the check clears, it's not that big of a deal as you thought it was, and money's not that crazy. And I remember at the meetup, like just being surrounded by all the students, I remember Marie was like, I just love making people happy. I was like, oh my God, that's so sweet. You know what I mean? Like, and everybody was talking about the things they love. No one ever said money. You didn't even say it. It was like, oh my God, we all want it. We need it. But then it's like, you know what I mean? And then this is a little bit deep. I want to share this kind of download I had the other day. It might be a little crazy, okay? But
Ooh, give it to me.
You had even posted kind of some thoughts about how, you know, this life is temporary, you know?
Yeah.
It's temporary. We don't have to dwell on that. But I was thinking about like, because I feel so guilty all the time. Like I'll want someone else to have something before I do. And I think a lot of people are that way. But to the point where it could be really detrimental, you know? And I was thinking about, I was like, really like asking the universe, like, just relieve me of this fear of money, you know? Like, what is it? Why? And went through this crazy timeline of like humanity. It was like I was on an ayahuasca journey. I was like, oh, we don't, like, the trees don't need us, you know? We need the trees. Like they were here first. They were completely self-sustainable without money and without all that. You know, people, then you got these hierarchies and people are using people and this and that. And then we started infusing it all with, oh, now you can exchange money to get this thing and that. And then I just started thinking about how much I love good, like quality things. Like I just, or if I see something, it's usually the most expensive thing I love. And if it's not the most expensive, I'm like surprised, you know? I'm like, wow, this is still good, you know? But I love nice things. I love them. I love them. I love them.
Yeah.
I love
It
clothes.
can be a
Oh,
balance too, right? Like you can like nice things, you can want nice things, and also like I definitely have really tapped into that side of me in the last year or two, like looking at
yeah.
what are the times that I feel the most content? Like I'm
Hmm.
not wanting to check my phone. I'm not feeling
Hmm.
anxiety. I'm not feeling the pressure of the business and what's working and what's not working. I'm like just so deeply present and content. And it's never anything. It's like I'm no service camping with my family. Like that's
Mm,
when I'm that. And it's a good reminder of what's the most important thing in life. But
yes.
also, I went to the mall yesterday and I bought a pair of Prada
I
heels because
saw
I wanted to. And it's like,
gorgeous.
it's this like juxtaposition, right? Like, it's like this balance. Like, yeah, I like camping and going out and no service and just being deeply present, don't need all the things, but also like,
Yeah.
I do love celebrating life. And sometimes that also means like buying shit that makes you feel good because you want to. And it's like I can do this kind of moment.
Yes, and I know there's like all these trickle down effects because another thing I kind of downloaded is like, a lot of our choices are just impacting someone else on some level. And some people, even though we can't quantify it, are having their experience where they need this thing and that's coming up to us somehow. And then it sucks because we need to get together as a humanity. But like, I was like, oh my God, the experiences, the material things, they always say it's all fleeting, right? Well, so is our experience on this planet. So like if you're just sitting here worried about all the things you want and don't think you deserve or do think you deserve or trying to quantify it or all that. It's like we're also material, organic material, like we're
Ah,
a physical, just like the book is physical. And yeah, we got our, whatever you believe, but we're also having something that's gonna leave.
yeah, I love that. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because I bought the heels last night and then we were walking out
Yeah.
and I was like, it would be really cool. And I told Willow this. I was like, it'd be really cool to do a YouTube video where I am showing all of the designer pieces that are every single one has a story of
Mm,
a time in my life that I
mm.
am going, and it is like me flexing this muscle that as my little girl self, I wish that I could have had. It's like, it's never about the shoes. It's never about the bag or whatever it is. It's like, what did you have to do or who did you have to overcome in order to be the person paying yes, an outlandish amount, right, on like something like a bag, but it's far bigger than the bag itself. And there's every single thing that I own, there's a story to it. It was a launch, it was my biggest site, it was my first site. It's like
Mm.
all of these different things. There's literally a story attached to each piece that I own. And I think that is so beautiful. And I think that's another thing of like, we kind of live in this society where yes, one, we're super materialistic, everyone buys things. And also there's kind of this pressure that if you are materialistic and you want to buy things, you're like, it's not
Not a good person or
right,
something.
exactly. And I think it's such a good reminder that it can be a personal journey. Like just because someone else doesn't value maybe the red Prada heels that I bought, that's great. Like love that for you. Go spend your money on something that you do value, but allow them to be synced up to something that is bigger in your life so that you can look back and look at the things and the items and be like, I did that. Like that's a part of my personal growth story. I think is
No,
so cool.
exactly. And I think in first class creative, when I was skimming kind of like what's included, I think it starts with mindset, right? And
Mhm.
it's like, I think the reason this conversation is so important, even though it's uncomfortable and it sucks to talk about sometimes for some weird reason, we are empathetic, we care.
Yeah.
But like you want someone to spend $10,000 on your website. So why is it good if they do that, but then you're not allowed to
Right.
be happy and take care of your needs as well? And then also like, okay, no offense, like if you're doing all this good in the world, which you are, and transforming lives and helping people and surrendering a huge part of yourself to do that, visibility and stuff, everything kind of comes with all of its different things. You're showing up consistently and committed. So like, why aren't you also allowed to enjoy your life too? And you trying to give everybody a life to enjoy?
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I just think we have to undo this, but also, like you said, money's not the most important part. And almost like the sooner we take that out, right? All the guilt and all the things and trying to quantify it, the more we could just focus on like succeeding and transforming people's lives.
Yes. 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 100%. And I always tell people too that are in the very beginning stages, let's say they haven't taken on any clients, they haven't launched yet. And there's that like beginner stress that like
Oh,
everyone
heck yeah.
experiences. But I think it's so common when you're in that stage to have this number in your head. You quantify where you want to go. So let's say you're just starting out and you're like, I want $10,000 months. That's my North Star. I want $10,000 months, $10,000 months. Then when you look at your game plan, you're like, I don't know where to start to get my $10,000 month. And then you look and there's all these different things in order to achieve $10,000 months that then you don't take a step. Instead, literally focus on one client. All you need is one client. This month, you are getting one client. You are not even attached to the outcome. You're not attached to how much they're going to pay you. You are doing it to create and to be of service and to grow as a human, as an entrepreneur. That is it. Get that first client because they will feel that exchange and then you'll get the money. They'll send it to you. You'll get a dopamine hit and you'll be like, damn, whoa, this person just sent me money. Okay, I actually think I can do this. And then you allow that one client to be, okay, 2 clients. Okay, 3 clients, but you are not ever going to go 0 to 100 or $0 in your business to $10,000 months just like that. Like it's just not going to happen. So just break it down, focus on one thing that you have control over that you can 100% book one client. I truly believe everyone right now, if they followed what I advise, you listen to all the podcasts, you listen to all the things, like you can book a freaking client, but you probably are holding yourself back because you're thinking that you need 10 clients right now.
Literally. And like I could just hear people because I'm thinking back to starting too. It's like, well, all those questions of like, but what if obviously it doesn't work out type of deal, right? But even more, well, how do I structure this and package this up and how it's like just do what you're most excited about and just try that for like the one client and see how you liked it. And then when it works, do it again. Like I always tell people like, oh my God, do it again. Like whatever you did, just do that again. Don't question it. Do it again and again and again until you find the flow and can structure it better. But like whatever you just did is obviously your way. So just do that again. I just would post pictures of my website mock-ups on Instagram stories and people would be like, oh, I need a website, literally. God.
Yeah. It's like doubling down. I think our own brain it's our worst enemy. Like, it's our biggest asset, our worst enemy at the same time. Okay. Last question I have for you, for someone who is listening, like let's say they're in that like beginner, they haven't even taken the courses yet and they're listening to this, going to be so inspired by your story. They're going to be obsessed with you, but they're like, I have been wanting to do this. There's so many people that are like, I've been following Becca for 3 years and I literally have 45 tabs open. I want to start. I just feel like I can. I feel like all the things. What would you tell them?
Oh my gosh. I would say literally like congratulations that you're on this exciting step, right? Obviously, I would say to start with multi-web designer. I'm not kidding. That's what I would start with. Or CEO show. If you're brand new, you can maybe do some, I don't know. I would say just wealthy web designer or CEO show. Start with one of those two. But even more than that too, I would say what I love is like your big three, which is just like, what are you actually excited about? Like truly, if you gave yourself permission to just be excited and know exactly what you would do and what you wouldn't do, like that lights you up, like what would that be? And then like, what is it that people want that they want to buy already? Like I was thinking the other day, like, someone's having a hard day. It's like, oh, you're having a hard day. You need a website. It's like, no, like you say this, it's like, you're having a hard day. Oh, it's like the clients are coming in. So the money's kind of tight. You're kind of scared about the bills this month, right? It's like, but like, you need more clients, right? It's like, I got you. I could take care of you. You know what I mean? Like once you know the audience, you know them, you're like, okay. And then the third one, just what do you want to give them that's going to take care of them? That's the 3 things you got to figure out. And then once you have that, I mean, I don't know. That's what I would say. to start, and then grab Wealthy Web Designer and don't look back.
Just keep going.
No, I'm serious. Like, don't look back. Like, grab it, literally watch it in like a weekend, and plug in those three things, your big three, and then just go.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe first class creative too. Start
Mhm.
making that content. Because like you said, this
Yeah.
content piece is huge.
Yeah.
Because that's why ads and all that. And people, it's not a mystery, you know, it's like you need people to see you or what you're offering in order to buy it. When you, right?
Yeah, you need the visibility.
Visibility.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's great advice. That's great advice, Eric. Okay. I'm curious, what is future Eric? I know I'm just asking this because I always ask this at the end of the podcast, but I kind of know that you're like, I don't really know because you are in a phase of evolution and I love that for you. And I feel like
Yeah.
maybe in a few weeks, a few months or a year, whatever, you might even have more clarity, but I think that that's the beauty of life and entrepreneurship, and that like you control your destiny. And like if you want to start offering something new on top of your web design, on top of this, if you like, you get to control that. And I think that's so beautiful. So anywho, right now, what are you feeling in your gut of what's next for Eric?
I feel like I'm on hot ones. Thank God though we're not. What's next is no more fucking around. Honestly, I mean this. I'm at the phase where I'm like, I've taken everything in, I've taken the courses, I've lived the trial and error of seeing it just doesn't work if you don't listen like to just the strategy of the plan. Just plug it in and do it. So done messing around. But really leaning into the fact that I can help people grow their businesses like in a coaching way, like helping people create an offer. So I'm adding that now to my service where it's like it starts out where we're looking at the transformation, then the brand kits, website, things like that, and then a little messaging plan so people are like off to the races. But yeah, just
that.
helping people dissolve their blocks and grow their businesses.
I love that.
It's so unbelievably possible.
100%. And honestly, like you're such a gift to this world. And I'm so grateful for you to be a student and be a part of
I
BLE,
love being a student.
be on this podcast. You're like,
Oh,
stop. No, keep going. Stop. No, keep
no,
going.
I'm serious. I'm honored.
No, but
Seriously.
seriously, I really appreciate it. And I feel like your story is going to inspire. And your story is different than the majority of the students that we've had on here. And I love that. Like, and I feel like that's your biggest gift. And kind of what we were talking about before we started recording and came on, and that like we relate to growing up and just feeling different. And I feel like
Mhm.
that when you own it and you're like, this is my story, this is who I am, this is who I want to be, like come into my world. And if you don't like it, send you love, goodbye. But like, this is who I am. And I feel like I am so excited to watch you step into that energy. You already have, and you have that I see, but I feel like I'm just excited to watch what the next year or two has for you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being such an amazing example and like actually showing up not only for us, but yourself. Like it's just been so incredible to watch you. Like just since this moment I discovered you, I've seen so much evolution in you. And I've just seen you actually not only like practice what you preach, but like show up when it's hard, when it's scary, and just always so authentically and just always looking at like the bright side. Because I think so many of us have these voices or these people that said it wouldn't work out. And I'm like, well, what did they tell you that would work out? Did they ever help you? And you're the person that's like, no, actually it will. And I can't, and like, let me help you, you know?
Yeah.
Like, oh, thank you.
Thank you. Love you.
I love you too.
Where can people come hang out with you? Because guaranteed people will be like knocking at your door to be your friend.
Oh my God, I love that. So just growing with Eric, ERIC is my main account, and then it's Dream Site and Dream Site with a Y, SYTE. If you want to check out the site.
I love it. And also everyone who's listening, it's linked down below in the show notes. So
Okay.
but thank you so much for coming on. And I'm just so
Thank you
appreciative
for
of
having
this
me.
and your
Likewise.
entire episode. I'm obsessed with you.
You're the moment and era. You're everything.